Hi everyone! This is a video about the secret of Monkey Island and what you should do if you wanna try to speedrun it. First of all, we run this game on ScumVM, which is an emulator. It's really difficult to get an original copy of this game, and we don't run the special edition because it is much slower. Also, we use a version of ScumVM which you can find in the description, which you cannot find online, and it's much more reliable and closer to the original game. Okay, and in fact it saves like 2 minutes because it's a better emulator than what you can find online. So once you get the emulator, once you get a copy of The Secret of Monkey Island DOS edition. Also, you can find the Discord channel in the description. If you have any question, you can join, you can ask whatever you want. The first glitch happens as soon as the game starts. Actually, as soon as the timer starts, because the way this game is timed, basically the game is not timed when the game starts. The game has already started here, but the timer starts when I skip the Lucasfilm logo, like I did right now. But you need to skip it at the correct timing, because for some reason if you skip the Lucasfilm logo with the correct timing, which is not too difficult to do, you have a pretty wide window to do it, the whole game runs much faster. Again, this also saves like 2 minutes. It's incredible. And I'll show you the timing. Basically, you can skip a bit earlier, but it is not advisable. What you need to look out for is the first light on the L. Okay, I don't know how to call it, the first shining thing on the L that appears. At that moment you can skip. In this game you skip with ESC or by clicking both left and right on the mouse. But for the beginning part there are a couple of different cutscenes, and it is advisable to skip by holding ESC all the way. If you got the glitch, you will get to this door at a time of more or less 13 seconds, and if you don't get the glitch you will get at a time of 15 seconds more or less. Now let's talk about actions, okay? So obviously, usually if you play this game casually, you're gonna use these actions here. You're gonna click on, I don't know, pick up to pick up an object and so on. This is slower. There is a much faster way to do it, which is using the keyboard. There are keys on the keyboard to select which action you want to use, okay? And they are pretty straightforward. Like, if you wanna pick up something, just press P. If you wanna open something, you can press O, and so on. The only actions which are not that straightforward are pull and push. Pull is Y and push is S. Having said that, there is also one other thing to take into consideration. If you click, obviously this everyone knows about it. If you click, the standard action is to walk around. If you left click. If you right click, the standard action is to look at something. I don't have any object here to... Wait, I have an object here to show you. Walk to poster if I left click, but if I right click, I look at the poster. Okay. And also, if the object you are selecting can be opened or closed, right click will open or close it, like opening this door. And also, another thing, obviously we now need to go into the scum bar. If you open the door and then, with the correct timing, you left click on it, and the timing is basically when Guybrush turns around to face the door, slightly after that, you can do something like this. See? You basically entered the door before it was open. That saves a little bit of time, but it's not a problem if you don't get it. It's just a really tiny thing. Also, be aware here, walking here. If you spam click here, this will happen, which is not ideal, so wait a little bit of time for the screen to scroll a tiny bit and then you can click here. And now we need to open this door, a dialog will happen, and we will skip the dialog, well, not really skip it in its entirety. We will make it faster by holding period. This is really useful. You should do it all the time. So let's just do it. I right clicked on the door, obviously, to open it, and I held period. Now I just need to wait for the chef to get out of here, and when the head of the chef pass over this spot here, there are 4 dots here, you can click on the door and you will enter in the kitchen as earliest as possible. And you know it because you can see the elbow of the chef sticking out when you enter the kitchen. Like that. Okay, so in here what we need to do is, after we enter the door, you can spam click on the right side, so Guybrush will start walking as soon as possible. And as soon as you notice the new room, basically, you need to open this door. Okay, simple enough. And right after you open this door, even before you see the door actually open, you can click on here to make the seagull fly away. Now, I will need to explain this before I do it, but you can pick up this fish by making the seagull fly only twice. It is a bit tricky. You need to get the timing right. Basically, you step on the plank twice, and as soon as you have stepped the second time, you click a bit on the left to make Guybrush walk as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if you click on the fish, you just need to click on the left. As soon as Guybrush starts walking, you can click on the fish. Obviously you need to select pick by pressing P before you do that. Okay, so let me try. It might not work. If it doesn't work, you can step on the plank 3 times, that's not a problem. Okay, it worked. Now we need to pick the pot, pick the meat. This is pretty straightforward. Oh, this is important. When you exit the kitchen, don't click like here, because Guybrush will walk around the table, and that's a bit slower. Click on the bottom left. Right now, obviously, Guybrush is gonna walk there because he was already there. But, you know, if you exit from the kitchen and you click around here, Guybrush will walk the correct path. Now, this is tricky because we need to constantly spam click on the left, because we will make Guybrush walk while the screen is scrolling, but you need to avoid clicking on the pirates, and almost everyone does this. We click on the bottom part of the screen for a little while and then we click up. I will show you. Okay, now that you are here, obviously I stopped, you shouldn't stop. Once I click on the door, a cutscene will play. You just need to skip it with ESC or with double clicking, which means clicking with both left and right on the mouse. Be aware that obviously we need to go to the left right now. Be aware that you need to release ESC as soon as possible, because pressing ESC invalidates every other input. Now you can spam click here to make Guybrush start walking, and you need to click on the clearing. You can click away as soon as you see Guybrush on top of the clearing. Now we need to go to the circus and position your cursor on top of the pot. Now, oh, okay, Guybrush stopped for some reason. Okay, what you need to do now is select the first dialogue. Oh, right. Let's talk about dialogues. Okay, you don't need to select dialogues with your cursor. You can select the dialogue options with the numbers by pressing numbers on your keyboard. So right now we need to select 1, then you need to hold period, then you need to press ESC to skip the next part of the dialogue. Okay, I just did it. I just pressed 1 period and then I held ESC. You should held ESC until the two brothers, the two fettuccine brothers come to you. Okay? Then the next dialog is 1 again, and now we only held period, we only hold period. Next dialog is 2. We need to select 2, and this time we also need to say to press ESC. So it is basically 2 period ESC. Okay, having done that, you can press G to give the pot and press on the brothers, and then you need to hold period. And right now I'm holding ESC to skip a part of the dialogue. Then I hold period again. Every time there is a dialogue you hold period, that's pretty obvious. This dialogue option is 1, and after that I can press period to skip my own dialogue and ESC to skip the dialogue of the brothers. But you can skip their dialogue only after a couple of lines. So something like that, okay? That was a lot to take in, I know. Also, as I said before, every time I say pressing ESC, you might want to double click instead of pressing ESC. It's not a problem. Obviously, double clicking and pressing ESC have pros and cons. You need to understand which one you want to use. I tend to use both of them, some in some places and some in others, so I will teach you how I do basically. So right now we need to exit to the path and we need to go to the fork, which will be located approximately here in this corner. You see this wagon, the corner of this wagon. So you can click here, position your cursor here, and click here. Also, let me show one thing. This is really important. This happens all the time. When Guybrush walks outside of the screen, when you see that Guybrush has walked all the way outside, you cannot see him anymore. If you wait just a tiny bit of time, you can then click anywhere else and the action will register. So basically, to make things clearer, I will explain what happens in this instance, but this happens all the time. Okay, so I will make Guybrush walk away and I will click here before I can see the next screen. Okay, I will click now and it works. Okay, so now we need to go up and we need to pick up the flowers. You can click away after you select the plant a bit earlier than you might expect, like that, but it didn't work this time. The timing is really tricky. There's no visual cue and I wouldn't advise to do it. Come on, I'm not getting it, really? Okay, it worked. But I would advise you to just make Guybrush stop walking and then click away. Then we need to get out of the forest. Now we need to go to the village. Okay. In the meantime that Guybrush walks here, you can use the flower with the meat. This will be important later. And we just need to go to the center of the village now. We need to talk to him. Also, right click. If you right click on someone, you will talk right away. Okay? One thing I didn't know is align my cursor before the dialogue starts with this door, but it is not that important. So this dialogue here works as follows. You need to press 4 and then you need to press ESC and 2. Obviously you need to also press period to skip your own dialogue, so it is basically 4 period ESC 2 period, and that's it. Now we open this door. We can do the same thing as the scam door, basically entering before the door opens. We pick up the chicken, the rubber chicken, and we get out and we go through the archway. This is pretty standard stuff. We need to talk to Otis. Okay. I will talk to him by right clicking, and then I will skip. You can skip all of the dialogue by either pressing ESC or double clicking. This time I double click, okay, because if you're really good at it, if you double click and then click, you can move much faster than if you press ESC and then click. So basically like this, double click, and then I press here. Again, I can press when Guybrush disappears after the wall. We go here to the shopkeeper, to the shop. If the shopkeeper isn't here, you need to go out and go in back again. We need to pick up the shovel and then pick up the sword. What I do usually is I spam click when I'm picking up the shovel, and then I pick up the sword. I don't use the action of picking up the sword right away, because sometimes my keyboard input is being eaten by the animation of picking up the shovel. And now we talk to him. So to do this dialogue, what I do is, usually in dialogues I use two hands, because one hand is for period and the other hand is for the dialogue options. Sometimes I don't do that, and this is one of these times. I use only one hand, the left hand, with my thumb on period and my little finger selecting the dialogue options, because this way I can control the mouse and I can click here as soon as this dialogue finishes. So in this dialogue you should press 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2. What I'm doing is, obviously I'm releasing period every time I need to select an option. So I hold period, then I release it, and then I release it, I press a number, and then I hold period again. Okay, now the dogs. The dogs are pretty simple. You just need to walk forward, use the meat with the dog, and wait. Okay, when you see that the dog are falling asleep, you can spam click to clear the dialogue option. You can enter here. Now we need to enter this door and we need to skip an animation, and I skip this not with ESC but with double click, because then I can hold period, because there is a dialogue I need to skip. So open the door, enter, double click, hold period, and then I can get out of the mansion. Now I need to get back to Otis. I can spam click here, because this way Guybrush will walk as soon as possible. What I do is I use my left hand to I have my thumb on period, my index finger on G, and my middle finger on 3, and now I can give the means to Otis, hold period, press 3, hold period again, and give the repellent to Otis, hold period again, and click away. Then I can go out, go in here. Remember to either use, I think it's use, I open. Remember to open the cake before you go into the hole. Now you go into the hole. Now I hold period, hold ESC because there is an animation, hold period again, hold ESC now to skip this animation. Now hold period. This dialogue you need to select 3 and then period again to skip your own dialogue, and then ESC. So 3 period ESC, holding ESC, and then period again. Sometimes, like it happens now, it doesn't skip decently. Also, I just noticed something that I never noticed is with period you need also to skip the sheriff's dialogue. Okay, so be aware of that. Now we need to go to this door, we need to open it. Before I open it, while I'm walking, I move my left hand so that my little finger is on ESC and my thumb is on P. This is important because as soon as I open this door, I will need to skip a couple of cutscenes. So let's open it, let's move my cursor here, and let's hold ESC. I have skipped all the cutscene, and now I can press P and pick up the idol. Now I hold period because there is some text. And now I skip another cutscene. I do this by double clicking and then I click on the left to make Guybrush walk. Okay. So now you are understanding what is going on, right? You understand how to do dialogues more or less. You understand the cutscenes are skipped with ESC or double clicking. Some parts of dialogues also are skipped that way, and in general you always need to hold period in a dialogue. Now let's talk about the sword fights. There are some ways to do the sword fights, okay? It also depends on which category you wanna run. There are 3 categories on this game: any percent saves, any percent saveless, and swordmaster percent. Swordmaster percent, I'll talk briefly about it at the end, because it doesn't change much from saves. But from saves and saveless, there are some changes. Basically, I will explain a bit later, but in saves you are allowed to use basically save states, okay? Obviously you cannot use save states you created before the run you're doing, okay? It is used to reset the RNG. So, right now I'm going to the bridge and I'm gonna talk to the fish to get an insult. Why am I saying talk to? Okay. Now I'm going to the bridge to talk to the troll and then give him the fish. You can also only give him the fish, but if you talk to him, even though you are losing a bit of time, you gain an insult that you can use in the sword fights, okay? So in saveless you should do this. In saveless you should absolutely do this. In saves you might want to not talk to him, even though it's kind of a dangerous strat either way. But in saveless, any percent saveless, you should talk to him, and I will proceed to talk to him basically. Okay, so when I go here, usually I am already prepared, and my left hand, I have a finger on 1, a finger on 2, a finger on G, and a finger on period, which is really difficult to do, but I do this. You need to talk to him. Also, let me show you a visual cue which is useful. Once you walk into the bridge, you can align your mouse here and your mouse will be on the troll. So if you line your mouse with the circus, you will be able to talk to the troll right away. So let's talk to him and move my mouse over the fish. Okay, hold period, 1, 2, and then I give him the fish and hold period again. Okay, this is it. I moved my cursor to the bottom right of the screen, and now I'm gonna spam click as soon as I see Guybrush turning away, and then I click on the house. Okay, now I align my mouse with the circus again and I open this door. Before I open it, there is a strat which is really useful here, okay, and it will make this dialogue so much faster, and it is not difficult to do. Basically, after I open this door, I move my mouse here, okay, and then for the whole dialogue I hold period and spam click here. There are a couple of places where you need to skip cutscenes, and in those cases, instead of just spam clicking with left click, you can spam click with double click, which means both left and right click, okay? And I will show you when they happen. So let's open the door, move here, hold period, and spam click. Okay, you can skip this cutscene, okay, and then let's go on, and you can skip this cutscene. To know the timing for starting spamming double click, okay, to understand that timing you just need to notice when Guybrush is giving his sword away. So there is, while they are talking, you see Guybrush giving something. That's when you need to start double clicking. Now we just need to get out of here, get in the fork. The reason why we get in the fork first and we don't battle pirates first is because when we will get out of the fork, there is a high chance we will encounter a pirate. So now you need to remember, you need to memorize this. You need to memorize the path to Carla, which is up twice, so up, up, right, twice, so right, right. Again, you can click away when you see Guybrush disappear. So after this right, there will be a left, and you will see that I will click as soon as Guybrush disappears. Okay, left, so up, up, right, right, left, up. Okay, and then you use the sign. Now I spam click here, and then as soon as possible I click on the left. Okay, let's pause for a second. Now what you can do is basically just go with the fight. You will need to practice a bit. It takes a while. If you practice enough, you can do something. You can align your left hand. I'm talking about saveless now. I will talk about saves right after. Okay. If you're doing saveless, you can use your left hand to have your thumb on period, your index finger on 6, and your little finger on A. Why is this the case? Because you will lose a lot of fights, and losing loses time, obviously. But one thing that you can do to lose less time is giving up the fight when you know you will lose either way. So if you're gonna lose, instead of selecting a random option and losing and waiting for the animation of Guybrush losing, you can hold A, then press 6 and then period, because that way you are selecting the option to give up. Okay, and it is faster. It is tricky though, so only do it if you have practiced enough. Okay. Okay. Now obviously you need to select my name is Guybrush Tripfoot prepare to die, which is the second option. You can select it with numbers. I don't do that. Spade does it. Okay, there is a problem with it and I will show you later. So okay, now we have acquired this insult here by talking to the troll. The second insult: I once owned a dog that was smarter than you. So we will use it, and we have learned it, which is nice. Okay, we have learned that insult. And now we see, okay, diapers, I don't have the answer to that, so I will select a random option. I have that one, okay, I can answer that one, but what if I do? It's not gonna be useful to me, because if I am able to answer to him, yeah, I'm winning one duel, well, I'm winning one fight, but I need to win 3 fights against him to win the whole duel, right? And I have just so few insults, it's really unlikely I will be able to, so I will only lose time because I will not learn anything, I will learn nothing, and I will lose time. So it is better at this point to just give up. And so we hold A, we press 6, and we press period. Okay, so if there are no pirates, you can go to the fork and go back out to reset the RNG. Okay, so let's do this again. Right now, though, I can use diapers. I have learned this insult, I can use it against him, and I have learned the answer now. Make me want to puke, I don't have it, so I will select a random option. Have the manners of a beggar, and let's give up because I don't know the answer to that. So you get it now, right? Oh, okay, I wanted to show you this. Now the option to start the duel is not 2 anymore. From the 3rd fight onwards, it's the 3rd option. Okay, this is why I use the mouse to select it. But if you want, you can use the numbers to do it. Okay, so I have a lot of options. I can learn beggar, for instance. Okay, nice, I've learned the answer to it. And I just go like this. After a while I will be able to respond to them and to win. Ooh, that is nice. That is sneak. That insult is interesting because the answer to that insult, the response to that insult, is a multi-resps. Okay? And I will talk about them a bit later, and if I remember I will link to a table of every insult in the description, every insult with Carla, with the Swordmaster. Okay? So let's go on. I will load a save state to fight against Carla directly. But before that, let me talk about what you can do in saves. Okay, let's do this dialogue really quick again. Okay, so if you are doing saves, okay, what you can do really depends on what you have done. Let's not go in the fork right now. Let's just do some duels. Okay, so there are some strategies you can use. You can go against 4 pirates or against 3 pirates. Going against 4 pirates statistically will allow you to save load less time, but the difference is not really that great. So I would advise you to go against 3 pirates, and if you want to go against 3 pirates, this is how you do it. So if you have dog, okay, if you don't want to do the YOLO strat, okay, if you have dog, you can ask about it. Okay, so I will ask about it, and in the saves I use the numbers, it's easier. Okay, so I'll ask about it and I'll create a save state. Okay, I created a save state, and then I click ask to clear out of the save state. Okay, to create a save state you need to press Alt, whatever, and a number. I use the number 1, which is the spot. Okay, it's the spot in which you save basically, and to load it you click Ctrl 1. Let me load it, even though I got the good RNG. Let me load it again. Okay, bad RNG, good RNG. Now I will save again before he is able to insult me. Okay, because I'm searching for the multi-reps. Okay, and I will talk about them later. This is one. The answer to this is a multi-rep, so it is nice to learn this. Now, obviously, I will lose, and this one. Let's save again. Now I have a choice. If I want to go against 4 pirates, now I will reset until I get another multi-reps, and I will lose. This is a multi-reps, and I will lose like this. Okay, I could have used holding A and pressing 6 right now, or I could do the 3 pirates setup, which is reloading until I get something I can answer to. So this might take a bit because I don't have many insults with me right now. Also, I'm gonna be slower than usual because I don't want to do some mistakes right now. Okay, you fight like a dairy farmer. I can answer to that. And now I can win. And to win, I select the first insult and then I save. Okay, and then I can reload until they lose basically. Again, and I win. Okay, so right now, if I have acquired 2 multi-reps, then I need to learn them by fighting other pirates, okay, using save loading. So basically I go against the pirates, I select the insult I want to learn the answer to, I save, and then I reload until said pirate will give me the answer, okay, and then I will win against 3 pirates. So in total you have fought 4 pirates. You have lost against the first one, against the second one you have learned the insult, and then at the end you have won against him, and then the other 2 you just win against them. Or you can do what I just did, so I only learned 1 insult from this pirate. From the second pirate I will learn the answer to said insult and another insult, and then I will win. And against the third pirate I will learn the answer to the last insult, and then I will win. This is a bit complicated, I know, but if you are in doubt you can ask on speedrun.com on the forum, but more importantly on the Discord channel that I will link in the description. It is very helpful, everyone is really nice, and also you can watch other runs to understand better. So whatever you did, if you were playing saveless or saves or whatever, you will have to fight against Carla, right? After you win against 3 pirates, you can go against Carla. And this is just this is pretty straightforward. Press ESC, press 2, and now the fight begins. Okay, so again you need to memorize these insults. These insults are different from the pirate insults. So the insults she said to me, come on, this is the answer to it. And most importantly, let's talk about multi-resps, because now they are important, and are some responses that works against more than 1 Carla insult. So your hemorrhoids are flaring up again, is a multi-resps, and it works against the insult she just said, which is you're a pain in the backside, and also against another insult she can say that is my last fight ended with my hands ended up in blood or something like that, okay? And these are really important, and the most important one is I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion, because this response can respond to 3 different insults. It's really important. Also, it's kind of important to know that some insults overlap. So if you have, I'm glad to hear, sorry, if you have, it must have taught you everything you know, and even before they smell your breath, which I don't have right now, then I'm glad to hear you attended your family reunion, only adds up to 1 basically, because there is some overlap with other insults. So I will link a table in the description that explains this stuff. I will not explain exactly every multi-reps here. Okay, so in this fight you need to win 5 times, and if you lose 5 times you have lost. And she will insult and you will respond. You will never insult her. So yeah, there's not much else to say about it. Let's wrap this up quickly. Maybe I will even cut the video, I don't know. And we won. Now we need to walk outside, and as soon as we can, we need to click on the fork, which is roughly something like here, but you have time to reposition your cursor during this animation. We need to click on the fork, and now you need to memorize another path, which is much trickier, sadly. So up, left, right, and then again left, right. So left, right. While you're walking, you need to click on this arrow to show the shovel, then up, again, right, left, up, and then we are done. You can click on the right, you can use the shovel, click on here, press ESC to skip the animation, and then spam click on the left to leave the scene. Now we need to go to Stan, which is surprising because we haven't triggered the cutscene of LeChuck taking away Elaine, but we can go to Stan. Also, after you click on the lights, align your cursor here, this will be important. Hold desk here, okay, then hold period, 1. Also, in this dialogue, and this is not the only dialogue you can do this, you can use ESC or double click if you want to skip a lot of stuff, okay? Apart from the first dialogue option, where you can press ESC only after Stan walks to the right, after every other dialogue option, every time Stan talks, you can skip it. Every time. I will show you, I will try to show you. So, 1, now I can press ESC, and period again now. Now, the next dialogue option will be 2, 4, and 5, okay? And every time, as soon as Stan talks, I will skip it, or I'll try to do it, at least. So, 2 period ESC, 4 period ESC, and 5 period ESC. And then I can click on the village. Now I will line my cursor here because this is useful, and I will hold ESC because there is an animation here. I skipped it. Now I press 3 period ESC, and now we are ready to get our crew. So let's go into the scum bar. This is normal stuff. We will take 2 mugs. We will walk here. Be aware this door can be closed, and if it is, you need to react and right click on it. Okay, so let's enter here, use the mug with the barrel, spam click on the door, and we need to get out of here. Be aware that if you spam click too much, exactly, I tried not to do it but it happened anyway, if you spam click too much you will walk to the left after the scum bar, even if you didn't click after you exited the scum bar. There is some buffering of actions there going on. Now we need to use the mug with the other mug, and we need to continue to walk to here. Walk, use the mug, align the cursor, and hold period. Now we need to skip a cutscene after Otis walks away, now, and I will do it with double click, and we need to skip again after we exit the prison. Okay? That was a lot of stuff, I know. And now finally, the first glitch after speed glitch will be performed. We need to talk to the shopkeeper now, and the dialogue is as follows. 2, 1, and then we will do something that I'll explain later, and then 1 again. So let me save here, because I want to show you this a couple of times. I will first show you what happens without explaining anything, and then I'll tell you how to do it. Ta-da! Okay, so you're able to make him walk on invisible stair. This is called the invisible stairs glitch, and this saves time. It saves at least 1 second, 1 or 2 seconds. So the way you do it is you need to skip the cutscene of him walking up, because he will walk up twice, basically. Okay, so let me do it without skipping anything. Okay, so 2, 1, and he will walk up. Okay, I will skip it now because it's a bit too long. Then 1 again, and he will walk up again. Okay. So if you skip the first time as soon as possible, okay, you need to skip it as soon as possible, basically this glitch happens, okay? So what I do is I double click, I spam double click during the dialogue. So I talk to him, hold period, 2, hold period, then as soon as I press 1, I start double clicking. Okay, so I triggered the glitch, technically. I just need to press 1 again and hold period. and here we walk up. We need to remember the combination now. So 2, 2, 4, 2, and then we can skip it, right? Sorry about that. Okay, so now we know the combination, and we can click 1 to make him go away, and you can skip after you click 1. So 1 period skip, and then you can hold period, then you can go up here and input the combination. But there is one thing you can do, which is quite neat, but it has a complication to it. So we don't need to know the entire combination, we only need to know the first 3 numbers, and I will explain you why. Well, I'll basically do it. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, let's watch it again. 2, 2, 4. Okay, sorry if I said it in Italian, I need to say it in Italian to remember it. 2, 2, 4. Okay, so let's make him go away. Now I only know the first the first 3 numbers of the combination. So I need to pull here by pressing Y twice. Okay, 1, 2. Then I need to push twice, and then I need to pull 4 times. But I don't know the 3rd number, so what can I do? Well, I can just push until it opens. Beware though that you can trigger a really nasty glitch, which I will try to trigger now. If I'm not able to do it, doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter, I already know the combination. Okay, so okay, these are the first 3 numbers. Now I need to input the 3rd number, which I don't know. If I go too fast, this can happen, okay? Oh, it didn't happen. Okay, I was lucky. Or maybe I wasn't fast enough. But I can try again, actually. I can try again. Okay, it didn't work. He did the action afterwards. Okay, so what you could possibly do is you can turn the handle of the safe one too many times, and this glitches out the safe, which is not good. So the 3rd number, you need to input it slowly. Okay, you need to be really careful about what you're doing. Now let's get away from here. While walking down, doing this, it is not optimal what I just did, so let's do it again, and let's focus about what I'm gonna do. As soon as I click here, and then I click in a diagonal. Okay, this way Guybrush will walk faster. Now we need to go to Mituk, and to go to him we need to, while we're walking, press up on here twice, so that the chicken is ready. Prep the chicken. Okay, this part is really straightforward, there's really nothing too complicated about it. I click to walk, and then I use the chicken on the cable. Obviously you should try to be faster than what I just did, so it's only 1 movement. Then I spawn click to make Guybrush walk towards the house. I right click to open the door, and then I'm getting ready. Then I click to enter, I press period. Now the dialog options are 1 and 3, and every time you can skip it. You can use ESC or double click to skip parts of the dialog. The timing is a bit weird, so I usually kinda spam ESC after a while, so 1 period and then ESC, and then 3 period and then ESC. Now ESC again, and you can skip this animation as you saw. Now we need to open this door, and skip again after you open the door, so you can open, press ESC. Then we need to look at the parrot, so you can right click and ESC again. And then we skip right after the dialog. So right there, as soon as I saw Mituk say something, I pressed period and ESC. Now I can click here to make Guybrush walk, use the chicken on the cable. Pretty standard stuff. I need to hold period because Guybrush will talk, and also I can start spam clicking to make Guybrush walk to the path. I can align my mouse here because we need to go to the Sword Master. Okay, this part is not too complicated. I need to scroll down the inventory and I need to give the note to the Sword Master. I need to press ESC here, okay? I held ESC for the entirety of the animation, even though it's not really necessary. You can just press ESC at the beginning, but whatever. And now we need to go to stand, and this is a bit complicated. Okay, this is not extremely easy. So this dialog, you need to hold ESC at the beginning. Okay, I can stop holding ESC, and now I held period for a brief period of time. Now this dialog, okay, so first option is 3, so I press 3 and I press period. Now the stand is working, I can start holding ESC and now I can press period. Okay, so I skipped a part of the dialog. I can do something similar now. The next dialog will be 4, so I need to press 4, so I can press 4 period and after a while ESC and period again. But the timing is really tricky to get, and I don't know, even if you don't do it, it's not too much of a problem. So I will try to do it. So 4 period, ESC after a while period. Okay, it worked. Okay, so remember the dialog. We did 3, we did 4, and we're gonna do 4 again. So 4 and period. Now we don't skip anything, okay? Okay, now we press 1, 1 again. Now we need to press 2 6 times. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I press 2, remember 2, 6 times. Okay? And now the end of the dialog. Okay, the last options. 3, 2, and 4, and now we can skip. So 4 period skip. And this is the dialog, and we have acquired the sea monkey. Now we can walk away and walk back to the village, align the mouse here to the left and hold ESC. As soon as you get to the village, release ESC, press 1, press period. Press 1, press period, press ESC. Okay. And this is it. We are on the ship. Okay? So, on the ship, you need to spam click. You have aligned your mouse to the left, so Guybrush usually is here more or less. Actually, he is more like here, but it doesn't matter. And if you spam click here, you'll go outside. Now, this is tricky. This is really tricky. The whole ship is tricky. So I will teach you some visual cues I use, and this is something that I would advise you to do. Choose your own visual cues. Okay, it's not difficult to understand where a visual cue is, but choose something that works for you. I will show you what works for me, but you can test it out. Okay, so first thing to do is click on the rope ladder, but this is really tricky to do, and if you click slightly off, Guybrush will walk all the way up there, and this is terrible. So one thing that is a bit better to do, instead of clicking here in a rush, you can kinda click here, and then you have a bit of time to align yourself and click on the ladder. Okay? So you need to pick up this flag, and I don't have a visual cue to pick up to pick up it, and just pick it up. Then you need to click down to go down, and I have a visual cue now. I line my cursor here. After I clicked here, I line my cursor here. So click down, line it up, and my cursor is lined up perfectly to walk to the edge. Okay? I click here, and then I will line my cursor here afterwards, more or less somewhere along here. Okay, so tuck, tuck, walk to the edge. Actually, what I do here is I don't line it to the rope. I go slightly up. That way I can walk to this edge. Now there is no visual cue about this. You just need to go to this corner, open this chest, look at it, press period, and that's it. Okay. Then you walk here, you pick up the rope, you pick up the kegs, and you click on the ladder. This is not really a visual cue. It's more or less, basically I line my cursor more or less here. You see this geometry of the ship and this hook in this region. I line my cursor on that region, so that way I can click on here. Then I line my cursor with this pillar here. That way I can open the cupboard with right click, and then this is nice, you can directly open the cereal. This way you will get both the cereal box and the prize. Afterwards you pick up the pot, you click on the ladder, and there is no real visual cue. I just then click on the right here after I click on the ladder here. But now I kinda have a visual cue, even though it's not that useful, which is inside of this shape. Basically I click on the ladder and I move my cursor here, so I can click here, then I click on the right to make Guybrush walk, and while Guybrush is walking, this is weird, you don't have to open the prize, you can directly use the prize on the cabinet. Which is amazing. Now we pick up the chest, we open it, you look at it, you press period to skip some dialogues, you pick up the pen, and you need your cursor to be on top of Guybrush's head, not, well, you can put your cursor here, but don't put it too low. Okay, so pick up, then move it a bit lower to pick up the ink. You can go here, and then I will line my cursor here. Okay, so this way I can walk to the edge, and then I will line my cursor between Carla and the cannon. Okay, so walk to the edge, line up here. Now this is a bit tricky. Okay, so if you want to do it slowly, but there is some strategies in here. So we will make Guybrush walk. Actually, let me save. Let me save here. Okay, so we'll make Guybrush walk. We will use the feather with the fire. Okay, and if you're fast enough, you can use the pot before Guybrush finish to use the feather with the fire. I will show you. Okay, this is a bit fast. Okay, so I already used the pot, so if you see this text says using cooking pot with basically I buffered the action, so this way I can directly click on the gunpowder, and now I need to use these 3 items. So use the cinnamon, use the pot with the cereal, use the ink with the pot. Going back and forth obviously is better. Then we go up once, you use the flag, you use the pot with the wine, you go up 3 times, use the chicken, and use the mint. Then you skip, and then you click away, and then you press period. Okay, and that was really tricky. Everyone messes it up a bit every time, so don't worry if you're not able to do it perfectly. This is basically the last visual cue for the ship, finally. So I need to click on this ladder, and then I will line my cursor with this smudge on the floor. Okay? We need to pick up the kegs to pick up the gunpowder. Then I will click on this ladder here. Then I will click on this ladder. Usually I use the time Guybrush works to align my cursor with the gunpowder and put my left hand on the keyboard so that I can easily press U and period. Okay, so let's do it. Hold period now, because Guybrush will talk. Okay, so now you need to use the gunpowder with the cannon nozzle. You need to go up, use the rope with the cannon, and then use the pot. You just need to use the pot. You don't need to use it with something else. Okay? You can do it like that, or you can try to be fast, and in the meantime that Guybrush is walking to the cannon nozzle to use the gunpowder, you can click up. The timing is a bit rough, but you can do it. So, tuck, tuck. And now I'm ready to use the rope, and in the meantime that Guybrush is walking here, I can put my cursor here. So click here, use, line myself here, okay, and as soon as you see the fuse, you can click on the pot and then hold ESC. Then you need to click on the forest, on the jungle, sorry, and that was it. Now we need to go to this corner. It is faster to go a bit lower, like here, and not all the way here, because Guybrush will automatically teleport to the correct location. I have a visual cue right now, but visual cues on Monkey Island are really subjective. So my visual cue is this green patch of trees on top of the crack here, but it's really subjective. So now I can click on the fort. I have this visual cue, this V shape, okay? So because I need to click on the cannon, I need to either push or pull the cannon. Then I pick up the rope, I pick up the gunpowder. As soon as I pick it up, I can click away. So pick up, I can click away. Then I click here, and then I click slightly down, because this is a bit faster. Okay, let's stop Guybrush for a second. Obviously you don't need to, you shouldn't stop Guybrush. I'm just stopping it because I need to explain a couple of stuff. So usually you click here, you can click a bit down. If you click too much down, you're gonna go to the wrong screen, so be aware of that. And my next visual cue is this place here. So I will click here and move my cursor here. I will click here. Now I will not really move my cursor because it is already on this rock. I will pick up this rock, but we need to skip some stuff. I pick up the rock, I hold period, and then I double click to skip the old dialogue. So let's do it, and I did it. In the meantime that I was spawn clicking, I moved my cursor up because I need to walk to the footholds. And my next visual cue is one of these grass here. Usually I use this one, but you can use, well, you need to find your own visual cue, basically. As soon as I see Guybrush starts going up, I can already do this action of pulling the primitive art. Be aware though, let me put it back where it was. If you pull here, obviously you will move it in the opposite direction. You need to pull it twice from this position. You will encounter it in this position. You need to pull it twice, and you need to click on the right side. So be aware of that. Now if I click on the footholds, Guybrush will walk on the left, which is lower. So you need to click here, and as soon as you see Guybrush walking up, you can click on the footholds. Now I click here, I push the rock, I line my cursor here, and now I hold period because there is gonna be some dialogue. And this dialogue option is 3. Every time you encounter two truths, the dialogue option is 3. Now I click here, Again, I need to try to walk to the right side. I click down, and now this is fun. This is really fun. So obviously I click here to make Guybrush starts walking, right? Afterwards I will use the gunpowder with them, okay? And after that I can use the rock and put my cursor on top of the compass and then wait, okay? So let's do it. Gunpowder with them, and then I can use rock with... I don't click on the compass just yet. I need to see, okay, the animation, Guybrush using the gunpowder, and this happens. And that's incredible. You can buffer the action. Right now, if you click on the pond, Guybrush will walk here, which is lower, so you need to click on the beach here, and then click on the pond. You need to click on the pond when Guybrush is around here, here-ish, basically. This visual cue is important. You don't have to use mine, but you need to use one. When we go to the pond, you need to pick up the rope, which is kinda difficult. It has a weird hitbox, so I line up. My visual cue is this mountain, this ridge of the mountain. I go here on the bottom part of it, but you need to find your own visual cue. Pick up the rope, then I click here, and then I move here. The reason why I moved away of the pond really quickly, or as soon as possible, is because if you stay there for a tiny longer time, Toothroot will interrupt you, which costs a lot of time. So let's click here. My next visual cue will be this bend on the river. Because, and this is the next glitch, if you click on the beach, normally you will just walk to the beach, but if you click on the border of the beach, no matter where on the border, but if you click on the border here, you will teleport to it, which is amazing. Right, okay, after we teleport to the beach, you need to click on the forest again, you need to click on the crack, but you need to click on this bend here. If you click anywhere else, Guybrush will walk all the way around, so you need to click here. And now we need to use the rope with the branch to pick up the horse. The optimal strat here is start walking, use the rope with this, spam clicking to make Guybrush go down, click to make him walk, use the stump with the rope. If you're fast, you can do it without making Guybrush stop. You spam click, you pick up the horse, and you click away. Now, be aware that sometimes it happens that you thought you have clicked on the jungle, but you didn't. So while Guybrush is going up, when you can, because you cannot do this while the animation of him climbing up is playing. So while Guybrush is either here or here, adjust your aim and be sure you have clicked on the jungle. Next thing is another beach warp. I line myself with the E of jungle here, but there are a lot of ways of visual cues you can use. Then we pick up the bananas, use the boat and then period, and move the cursor here. Click here, then click here, because Guybrush will move faster if this works with the horse and works even when Guybrush is walking in the island. Guybrush will move faster if you click on a destination rather than a random place. So as you can see, Guybrush is moving so slowly right now. So you need to click around here, and then you can click around here, not farther to the right, and this is a tiny bit faster because Guybrush takes a better route here. Then you click on the beach, click on the jungle. I line up with this tree to click on the village. Then you walk to the left. Be aware that here you need to click really down, because if you click a bit up, sometimes Guybrush loves to go that way. So be aware of that. We can pick up the bananas and click away right away, so Guybrush will not start talking. Now I will encounter the cannibals. You need to press ESC, then I will show you the dialogue. I line my cursor here, I Alt esc. Okay, now I press 3 period esc. 3 period esc. Now you should try to line up your cursor farther down than I did, because if you click on the skull from this position, Guybrush, usually Guybrush walks all the way up. Let me try again. Whoa, okay, today I'm lucky. Usually Guybrush walks all the way around, but if you click down, there's no worries. Okay, you need to pick up the skull, and then you pick up the plank. If you're fast enough, you can do this really fast. You can, what the hell? You can basically, as you saw, Guybrush didn't stand up when I clicked the third time, because you need to click a third time. Now I use the boat. I use a visual cue, but it's really, that visual cue is really subjective, so I advise you to find your own visual cues for that part. And now we need to give the bananas to the monkey. So we need to click left, then I will line my cursor a bit to the left to the T of talk. Okay, right here. Okay, I line it in the correct position, and then I click. And in the meantime, then I line my cursor right down this tree that is poking out of the beach. Okay, so I click here, and then I can line this up here, and suddenly I'm here. I beach warp again, I go in the jungle. I advise you not to walk right away towards the monkey, because if you do, if you are impatient, this might happen. Okay, now I walk close to the monkey, and if I try to go on top of the monkey, half the time I'm selecting Guybrush, and this is terrible. So if you wait a tiny bit of time to be able to select the monkey, this will not happen. We need to give the bananas to the monkey, which I'm not able to do right now. Whatever. And there's nothing really to say about this. There's no real fast strat that we found. You just need to get fast at it. Also, you need to be able to move your cursor while you're not looking at it, because you cannot see it right now. Now I spam click on one side. You can exit on both sides, so depending on where you are, you better go or to the right or to the left. In this case I will go to the left because Guybrush is closer to the left edge. Then I click on the top right corner, I line up around here-ish to click on the beach, and then I line with this formation, okay, to click on clearing. Okay, work to the right. I think pull or push work, but I pull here, pull the nose, click away as soon as possible, and then spam click on the monkey head, pick up the idle, spam click to get away, and this is really straightforward. You just pick up the idle. Lining up to click on the beach there is kinda tricky. Yeah, to click on the beach from the clearing. But one thing which is really cute is when you click on the beach, you are already lined up for the boat. So let me show you again. Ta-da! Then I need to go to the cannibal again. Okay, now I need to walk until Guybrush passes this window here, and then I can walk to the right. What I do is I line my left hand so that I can press easily 2, G and period, because I will need to give the idle to the cannibals. So right now I can turn right, I can press period, 2, period, give idle, and then esc or double click, whatever, and then I can get out of here, get in the village again, period. Now this dialogue here, like the first stand dialogue, the first option you will not be able to skip anything afterwards, The other option, you can skip absolutely everything. Okay, so be aware of that. So the dialog options are as follow: 1, and I cannot skip anything. Then 1 skip, 1 skip, 4 skip, 2 skip, 3 skip, 1 skip. And then I can give them the green leaflet, and I can press ESC again. Then I go to the left, I go inside, I pick the banana picker up, and this is tricky, I'm not good at it. While you're walking, you should give the banana picker to truth, period, you click here. I line myself up the ink to click on the beach, and we need to return to the monkey head. Now, if you did everything in this order, because you can do stuff out of order in the Cannibal's Village and it doesn't lose time, but if you did this in this particular order, your inventory will be set up just right for the next part. So this way you can use the key on the monkey ear, and you don't need to scroll up or down on the inventory. Now we need to go inside, spam click. Now I double spam click because I just skipped an animation here. Usually Guybrush works here and talks, but you can skip it with ESC or double click, and I just did the optimal skipping, which is nice. Now I don't know in which place exactly, but around here there is a place where if you use the head and then click away, it takes less time for some reason. Then I move my inventory down. Okay, the catacombs. In saves, every time you go through an exit in the catacombs, every time you exit a screen, you save and then you reload until you get a good screen. There's nothing terribly complicated about that, and in saveless you are not allowed to do that. But the most important thing to understand are as follows. First of all, you need to go through 6 exits. Okay, so now I am at 0. If I go here, which is the correct exit, I'm at 1, 2, and so on. Okay. Now let me show you something. The head is showing me to go to the left. It might be that I need to go to the left, but the head will never show you if you need to go up or down, unless you need to go up on the portal and you are right on the portal. Okay, so I cannot be sure I need to go exactly to the left now. What I need to do is basically I need to walk like here-ish. Oh, the head turned to the right. If I'm here and the head turns to the left, and here the head turns to the right, it means that I need to go down actually. Okay, you need to learn these rooms a bit. I know, for instance, that I cannot go right here. There's no way, this is a dead end, so I know I need to go to the left. Be aware, if you go to the incorrect exit, your counter will not stay the same, will go down by 1, which is terrible, really terrible. So now I will show you. The only place where the head will point up is when you are right on the correct exit, and the exit is a portal like this one. Okay, that was the 3rd exit, I think. So this will be the 4th. Okay, I don't remember if the next one will be the 5th or the 6th, so I will save because I want to show you something if I'm able to do it. Let's see if this is the correct exit. It is. Okay, so let me save. Let me go here. Okay, that was the 5th. And this is the 6th. So, this is really tricky to perform, but there is a glitch that saves 4 seconds. When you go through the 6th exit, so let me save, because I wanna try a couple of times. if you go through the 6 exits, as soon as Guybrush passes this wall here, that you cannot see Guybrush, you need to wait just a tiny little bit of time, then you need to tap T on the keyboard and spam click on the head on this point on the lower part of the head. Okay? If the 6th exit is a portal, you need to do the same thing, but the timing is when let me show you. When Guybrush turns to the portal, you need to wait a tiny bit of time. Okay? So let's try this. I don't know if I'm able to get it. Okay. You know what? Let me show you what happens if I don't trigger the glitch. I didn't trigger it, Guybrush walks there, then I need to talk to the head and spam click like I said before. Okay. If you spam click on the correct position, you will clear this dialog. Okay. And this is how you usually do it. But let's see if I can get it. Yes! Amazing, I got the glitch. So you can talk to the head as soon as possible, right? And now what happens is yeah, the animation will play, but Guybrush will not move, so Guybrush now is here. And if you click on the ship, Guybrush will take a shorter route to the ship. This glitch is really difficult to perform. You have like 2 or 3 frames to do everything. You cannot hold T from the previous room, or rather you can hold it, but then you need to frame perfectly release it, which is dumb. It's really dumb to do. Don't do it. Yeah, and this is really tricky, so if you don't get it, no one has gotten it in a run. I technically got it in a run, but it was a terrible one. Okay? And then there is another glitch right after. So let me say, because lately I've not been able to get this glitch, we need to use the necklace, but an animation will play, a Guybrush will not work during the animation, but we can skip it. We cannot skip it with Ask, we can skip it by using the necklace on the at the correct position. So we need to make Guybrush walk to the ship, and at the correct position. Okay, that wasn't the one. Basically, when the upper buttons of his pants are invisible because they are below this rock formation, you click on the necklace. Again, lately I've not been able to get it. In fact, I was too late. But trust me, it works. Yes, I was able to get it. Now, while walking to the ship, go up twice, because we need the compass. In total, it's both glitches save like 5 seconds. So we need to go here, open this door. You can enter this door before it opens, actually, but it's really difficult to do. Okay, now we need to click on the center of the room, basically. If you go too far to the left, LeChuck will notice, which is not good. You can go at most towards this pixel, I think. Usually I just click here. While Guybrush is moving, you can use the compass with the key, and then click away. We go to the hatch, we go here. We either use or pick the chicken, then period. I use period to skip the dialogue. I go here, I click in the middle of the room, I use the feather with this feet, I use the feather again with this feet, I click here. Now, you can take this jug of grog, but only after it changes color. If you notice, after it landed, it changed color, okay? So I go here, I use the key with the hatch. Oh, you should walk and then use it. I use the grog here. You can start to walk now when the rat stands up. I picked up the grease. I go outside. Now I use the grease with the door, and then I can open the door, enter, go here, pick up the tools, get back. If you do it correctly, this is really fast. I come back here. I will use the tool here, and I will hold period to skip some dialogues. Okay? And then I will line my cursor on top of the crate, because at the end of this I can spam right click. Now I spam right click, and as soon as I see that I picked up the route, I spam left click here to get out. I need to get out of the ship right now. I line my cursor here, this is not really useful. As soon as I exit the cave, I need to skip. I could have skipped better, and I need to skip here again. This dialog is also, if you did everything correctly, you have time to line your cursor here, not whatever. This dialog is 3, 2, 1, and then 1 again, but before I select this dialog, it is better to skip by double clicking here, I guess. But I do it with ESC because it's easier for me. And why it is that? Because the timing is weird. Basically, as soon as Carla starts walking, you can skip. Okay? So, 1 period, and now I can skip. I can press ESC basically. And this is almost the end. You cannot skip this part, you cannot skip this screen here. Now I need to click here, ESC, Alt ESC, okay. Now I select 2, period ESC. Oh no, wait, I don't need to press ESC, I only need to hold period here. Sorry, that was a mistake on my part. I click here, I use this wood thing as a reference for my next visual cue. I right click on the door, so this way we don't have to fight the pirate. I click on the archway. Need to enter the church. I can frame perfectly, it's not frame perfect, enter. Yeah. I pressed ESC to skip that dialog, okay? And again, in this dialog you can skip everything apart from the first option. So 3 period ESC, 3 period ESC, period again, because this dialog is a bit tricky, it's a bit clunky. And now 4 period spam ESC, because if you hold it, it doesn't work. Hold ESC here, so stand teleports there, as you saw. Now you can release ESC and you need to wait. You just need to wait now. Your cursor will almost be on the root beer, not really. I can spam click to make Gabrash walk up, use the beer with LeChuck. Click on the left part of LeChuck, that is more reliable. Then I need to move my mouse blindly to the correct spot, because the next dialog, which is the last one in the run, I can only select by clicking on it, which is not really good, but whatever, we'll take it. So now I'm holding period, and I need to wait like 20 seconds of cutscenes. Okay. As soon as you see this, you can spam click. I will not spam click because I want to show you something. Okay. So now, whoa, this never happens to me in a run. There are 2 dialog options. Obviously you are spam clicking, so you're not even seeing what you're selecting basically, or you're barely seeing it. You should line your mouse up in so that you select the first dialog option if you can. If you select the second one, it's not a problem, but the first one is faster. Okay. Then, if you have selected the first one correctly, you move them cursors down slightly. If you did select the second one by accident, you don't need to move it. I will move it down slightly, and then I can spam click. I will not spam click. Oh wait, I spam clicked on, okay. Whatever, there is a second dialog, you need to select the second option on that dialog. And this is the end. As soon as the screen fades to black, you have completed the run. So again, this probably was a long video. I still need to edit it, but it will be a long video. If I went too fast on something, if something wasn't clear, please ask in the comments, ask in the Discord channel, whatever. I will answer to you, everyone in the community will answer to you, and also take into consideration one little thing. Everything I said is mostly correct, but there are a lot of dialogues in this game, and it has happened to almost everybody that we thought one dialogue was better done in one way, and then we tested it and it wasn't really the correct way to do it. So I'm not sure about 100% of every single dialogue I taught you today. I'm sure about like at least 95%, maybe even more. But I'm not sure about 100% of them. Surely if I did some mistake about it, at most it will lose you 1 or 2 seconds, and this category is not yet optimized, so that is not much of a problem. But please do some testing yourself, find what works for you. Even for visual cues, find what works for you, and let me know if this video was helpful. I was almost forgetting about this, but let's talk about a couple of things. One is Swordmaster %, and the second thing I want to talk about is the YOLO strat with fighting the pirates, basically. Okay? So, let's resume. Obviously, we need to get a speed glitch. Okay? Now, for Swordmaster %, we don't need to do anything else other than going against Carla. That happens sometimes. So what we need to do is just acquire the minimum necessary to be able to go against Carla, which in this case is the fish and the pot. We don't need the meat. So as always, we open here, we take the pot, we don't take the meat, and we get out. It's pretty straightforward if you think about it. It's not that difficult to understand what you need to do in Swordmaster %. What we need to do, as always right now, is to go to the circus because we need to get some money. Luckily enough, this takes almost no time. It takes like 3-4 minutes to do everything until the fights, and then I will talk about the fights. Okay, again we will do the usual dialogue. I already explained about it, so I'm gonna do it fast. Could have been a tiny bit faster, but that was fast enough. Okay, I skipped a bit early. Now, we don't need to take the flower, so we can just walk to the village. Obviously, we didn't take the meat or the flower, so we don't need to use them. Right now, we need to talk to the citizen in the middle of the town, which is actually called Citizen by the game, if I remember correctly. Citizen of Melee. Okay. And then we don't need to go into this door, we need to go here. We need to go into the shop, only taking the sword, talking to him, and now the dialogue is 1, 1, 2. We get out, and we are already ready to fight, basically. Now, you can do many strategies. I have talked about them before. I will show you the only one I think I didn't talk about, which is the YOLO strat. If you do the YOLO strat, you don't need to talk to the troll. But if you wanna do any other strat, you need to, okay? So I'm showing you one of the possible strategies here, not the only one. So I will only give him the fish. I will not talk to him. Okay? But again, if you wanna do other strategies with the fights, and not one which most of the time loses time, but when it goes right, it's really fast, then you need to talk to him, okay? This is as always. Now I should go to the fork and do everything, but I will not do just for the sake of saving a bit of time, but you should go to the fork. Okay, so now I will use only my keyboard because it's easier that way. The yellow strat is as follows. Obviously I need to start the fight. I have no useful insult right now. The first two insults I already know the answer to, so it's not useful to use them. So I will use a dumb insult, which are this one, from the third onwards. So I will press 3. This way I will obviously lose. Then at the right time I save, and then I reset until I get I've spoken with apes more polite than you. I was really lucky this time. That was the one I was looking for. Then save again until I get something I can respond to. There are only 2 insults I can respond to right now, so this might take a while. Okay. And now I need to win. So I'm insulting him and I'm resetting until he loses, basically. Now against the second pirate. Oh, come on. Yeah, that can happen. That is a bit frustrating. Pirates can walk past you. Okay, I need to ask him, I need to say to him, I've spoken with apes more polite than you, and I need to save. So, okay, he answered that. That was what I wanted to do. Now I need him to say something I can respond to, and I can respond to that. Nice, and now I just need to win, like I did before. And now against the third pirate, I only need to win. Okay, I didn't have to save that. Sorry about that. Also, be aware, if you're pressing Alt, whatever, and ESC at the same time, because you're skipping the save text. Where is Guybrush going? Oh right, I didn't go to the fork, so I cannot go there. Yeah, and now I need to go to Carla, because I have already beaten 3 pirates, and I have just enough insults to be able to win. So, this was it. This is actually the end of the video, and yeah, I hope this was really useful to everybody. And it was really, it was kind of tricky to make this video, but I'm happy I did it.